We are using this package to see how it fits the school environment, how it can provide interface with companies and students, and if we can use it more widely here.
The teacher could first give a bit of a background for the scenario, and then every student one by one could take the VR glasses and go there and do.
So it's the first device on the market that has eye tracking. Yeah. So in addition to tracking where your head is looking, it also tracks where your eyes are watching. And we're kind of experimenting if the eye tracking is like viable enough for use in training purposes.
Usually in simulators you have screens, and that is okay, so you can see all the controls you have on the simulator. But when you put virtual glasses on, the head-mounted display, you can't see anything, but still you need to touch the controls and you need to see what is happening in the actual simulator. And that is the challenge. They want to implement the real stuff on a virtual world.
My task for the students is attracting attention in VR space, so basically making the VR space a bit larger. There's a problem in VR that most of the users still focus to things that are right in front of them. So basically just trying to make that space larger, because VR promises 360 degrees.
It makes a lot of sense to do this in a school environment. I think it's essential for the students to understand how to innovate faster, how to create concrete solutions. Many times we create a lot of concepts, a lot of things that don't go deep enough so that we can do real-life testing. In this method, we are doing the real-life testing. We are doing functional prototypes that answer critical business questions. The main thing is to focus, focus, focus.
The challenges of the sprints, they are so many. We have never done this before, and always when you are starting something new, it's like you really cannot avoid problems or making mistakes. So the sprint method is new to the students involved. Also, the virtual reality is quite new thing, so we do not have too much technical knowledge, and we do not have too much contentual knowledge either from the field.
Well, we've just done the Crazy 8 part of the sprint, and now we're reviewing benchmarking to kind of clarify our ideas.
Currently we're trying to get Unity to work with this joystick. It's some sort of almost working, but at the same time not working.
Our project is mostly completed, but we're finishing up some smaller elements of having the user being able to operate the controls easily and understandable. So kind of the last ton of finishing details.
Expectations for Friday are that we can show to the customer that that is doable with these techniques and these tools. Or we can say to customer that no, you don't want to go that direction. I don't think that is as valuable as the working stuff we are getting.
I'm going to start the program now.
Yeah.
So you should be in the crime scene again?
Yes, I'm there.
I have a couple of tasks you can do in this environment.
The first task is check the body to see if it's dead.
Didn't quite know what to expect, but I was also positively surprised how you modified the format, and it was good.
I had
received the initial plan of the group, and I thought, well, maybe it's a bit too ambitious for this, but I was happy to see that they came through quite nicely. They had like almost all of the features that they had planned for implemented in that project.
We've put in a week's worth of work, really pushing to get this product done, and I think we are all relieved on the final product, and we like what our outcome has been, and I think because of that we are all pretty tired.
I enjoyed it, but it was a little bit fast for prototyping in virtual reality. I feel like it would have been nicer to have even just maybe one more day for the prototyping section.
I think the sprint method is really good. It was better than I expected. So I think it's suitable also for this kind of student-company collaboration, which I think is a good thing.
Usually when it comes to longer school projects, what happens is that the like 90% 10% rule, like 90% of the work is done in the last 10% of the time, and the 10% of work in the 90% of the time. So in a project this small, it doesn't really come to that, because everyone knows from the start that there's very little time. So the usual problems of people slacking early on doesn't happen at all in this type. So
I'm really happy what we have seen, and I'm really happy about the results. Of course we have to develop this, but we have done something that we can continue and develop further.
I'm a happy customer.
Great.
Thank you, team.